think you do that on purpose, so that way every time we look at the first video, I'm making a dumb face.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, honestly, I do really want to work on our coffee table book of faces.
Yes. Faces, butt cracks, and sleeping people.
Oh my God. It's going to be amazing. We're going to make it into like a little scrapbook. I really want to do this. And then we can send it to everyone we love in our life.
Oh, they would love
because we know that we have some messed up photos of their faces.
Exactly.
So like it's like a highlight film. It'll be like mostly faces of like what we all have is each other. But then like we'll sprinkle one in the middle that's like real small and they won't see it yet. And then it'll be like, oh man, what the? It's going to be perfect. Like Easter eggs.
I'm making a collection of Esther faces.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, why she sleeps. Now that's a little creepy.
Little taste of your own medicine.
I do like...
I bet you sleep so peacefully.
No, she looks angry when she sleeps.
First of all, that's hilarious. I need to see these photos then. Sometimes I do duck lips when I sleep, apparently. I look like a damn platypus. My family has lots of photos of me sleeping. I just think that that's weird.
Is it? I don't know. Right. I enjoy it.
I know you do.
I'm
I'm Rachel.
I'm ready for anything.
Okay.
Whoa, well, get ready, because you know what it is today.
It's Theory Tuesday.
Woo-hoo! I love Theory Tuesday.
And that's when Esther came with the questions for Theory Tuesday.
Esther always has the good stuff.
Little did she know that in her living room was the killer.
I don't like where this story is going. Like, that escalated. I felt like that escalated quickly. Like, exactly. I was like, I'm trying to survive, guys. I'm too tired. I can't fight a killer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about psychics.
Yes.
And more specifically, the group readers.
Ooh.
So not just the one-on-ones, the ones that go...
the ones that have the high psychic power.
So they have a group of people, and they, like, single people out from that.
I'm excited.
Which is interesting, because I'm just like, okay, so I guess it depends on how you think what happens when we pass, and, like... So is it like an Insidious type thing where, if you haven't watched the movie, great movie, by the way. So in Insidious, where they were, what do they call it? Astral projecting.
Astral projection.
So that was kind of like purgatory type thing. So people were just chilling there, but you kind of have your like... You can have your house there and stuff like that. Like, that dude had a house, and there's people in the house that I guess were their previous owners. So I guess you have some semblance of your old life, but you're not, like,
But that's
cool.
That's a theory by people with the afterlife or the other side of things. Like, it's a mirror image of what happens here.
Right.
So, like... if you wanted to do something for your ancestors, you can leave them like a glass of water and say like a little prayer, like, this is for the ancestors. I acknowledge you. I remember you. And that glass of water will be on the other side for them.
Right.
So that they can drink and whatever.
Right.
And they kind of did the same thing with Stranger Things with the upside down. So everything is just a mirror image of our planes of existence mirror one another.
Yeah. So you can think like that, or... Like, so they do the group sessions, and it's like people that say they have guardian angels and stuff like that. So you're just bringing homies with you. Like, constantly there's like people around. Because I'm just like, how do you picture it when you do things like that? Because
okay, so the group setting, I saw Theresa Caputo recently live. Which was so interesting because, y'all, she is so tiny. Oh, okay. Just get comfortable.
Sorry.
Trey loves it. But so she is so tiny. And she was wearing this like Tammy Faye Baker, Dolly Parton-ish, like pink sequined suit.
Oh,
and it was amazing on a whole extra level.
You gotta give them a little razzle dazzle.
Oh my, no. Ugh. She gave us all, it was like razzle dazzle times like 1,000. I mean, this thing was like bling, bling, bling. And then she had on a silk like white blouse. She looked really good. But the craziest thing, so of course I'm going to talk about her looks first, is her hair.
Right.
So we all know that she's got this giant hair, but when we're in the live show, this hair is like 7 inches off from her head, but it's like you can see through it.
What?
Like it's super
thin.
No, it's super thin. Like like you can see the bands of weave. Like it was really sad, and I was just kind of like, oh man,
right.
you know. So, but yeah. Anyway, I went to see her, and that was one of my main questions. Okay, so we're in this auditorium, and there's like, I don't know, 200 people or 300 people. I don't know, maybe 500. Who the hell knows? I don't know.
One of those hundreds.
It was more than 70. It was way more than 70. But we're in there, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if you're a medium, like I'm having to assume that like there is a shit ton of people here, like
right.
dead and alive at this
right.
point, and you're dealing with all of like, how do you even do that?
You're dealing with quote unquote, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Like bombarded. I mean, I would not be able to finish a thought if things were popping into my head. And I'll tell you, she was able to finish lots of thoughts, especially 45 minutes of disclaimer first that she peppered in with jokes. But I have a theory. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
I think that she might be the greatest comedian of all time. Because what if this is the longest running like practical joke on the entire world? Because she's actually funny. Like she was actually funny. But what if she just wasn't quite funny enough and she thought, I got this? Because if that's the case, she's a fucking genius and I want to study underneath her. Like this shit is amazing.
Or maybe she's a huckster and hucksters like to be funny. I mean, con people know how to loosen your defenses. Salespeople, a good salesperson can get you to chuckle from time to time.
So there's got to be a bit of a con in it, at least in the shows, in the group shows, because I'm sitting next to Anissa and I'm like realizing that she's reading this disclaimer and giving us all of these things, and it's basically like she was real smart, or her attorney is, because they peppered the disclaimer like all the way through every single reading too. No, but I mean they did a good job, because I don't think like people who are not, if you're just the average Joe off the street, you're not going to realize, I don't think that, you know, she's reading a disclaimer basically or talking about it, because they did a good job filtering it. Anyway, because Anissa didn't realize it right away. I was like, and then when I said it, she was like, oh my God, you're so right. So she gives us like the show starts at 7:30. It starts a little bit later, like, I don't know, 7:45 or some shit like that. And we were out of there by 10. No, before 10.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not long. And that most of it is a disclaimer. So at some point I'm like, come on, wrap this shit up and let's get the show on the road. Like, I know there's things here. Like, let's discuss it. And then, you know, it was kind of like, boom, done. And then she just starts, okay, I'm seeing this and whatever. And it was like, did someone have someone with, you know, hearing the name Tim. And I'm like, okay, let me watch this shit. Well, we go over to this woman who happens to be in the front row. Always in the front row. I mean, in the first one's always in the front row. Okay. Anyway, so she goes over to there and then she has this conversation. But the flip side of that, you know, and they're all nodding and things like that. And there were a few people that she ran into and they were like, no, that's not it. And then so I started to watch her pattern and I was like, oh, here it comes. When they're not interesting, we're going to do a transition. And I was like, oh shit, I see it. I was like, and so I'm sitting next to Anissa and I felt so bad because I know like we had gone and we're really hopeful, like, cause you know, her dad passed and all of these things. So I'm like, I couldn't help it. My brain wouldn't shut up. And I was like, I gotta share this with someone. I can't sit here like this. And so, you know, I'm like, here it comes, a transition. And she was like, oh my God. And then so like, there's a few where we're on like the camera, you can tell. And then it's like projected on the screen. And I'm like, I'm trying to keep my face straight. But the whole time I'm like laughing because I know what she's going to say next, you know? And, but I like on the flip side, watching people look for that connection, think of that connection, and then like, you know, when she talks to them, the hope, like watching that in person was really magical. So I don't give a shit if she's fake. I really don't. I don't think so, because I think maybe what she delivers is hope. And to tell you the truth, the tickets weren't that expensive. Like, we got better seats, and I think they were $75 a person. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, like, if that helps somebody move on in life,
right,
and release some guilt and get to their purpose, like, it's not like she's charging $400 or $500 a ticket.
But she is charging.
Oh, fuck. I mean, well.
I mean, does she do it for everyone?
No.
Does she go through everyone and give them closure?
Dude, then we would still fucking be there.
Exactly.
No, so it's like, it's only good for the handful of people that she picks out.
She gives a really good, so she peppers it in her disclaimer, and she does a good job talking about it for, like, everyone. Like, please know that, you know, there's so many voices here, and they all want you to know, like, at the end, like, whatever. And I don't know.
Yeah, her MO.
Okay, let's
have a little background.
I actually never had watched it before.
Oh, me either.
Okay, good. Amateur.
She is the Long Island medium.
Yes.
If you've never seen the show, thankfully,
you should know her hair.
Don't kill your eyes. So her main thing is, usually what she says is the audience needs to figure out how the messages fit them.
Oh, yes. She said that 1,001 times, and that's her damn disclaimer in there. It's 100% peppered in there, because then it's like, well, they chose to interpret it like that.
Exactly.
I told them like that. Oh, my God.
Well, because she says the spirits talk to her, because every medium goes differently, like, has a different, like, symbol, sign, this or that.
Okay, I want to dive into that at some point, because I'm
yeah, hers was well, you can let me know if she said that, but supposedly the spirits talk to her in symbols, and it makes sense to her, and when she, like, so that's what she calls out.
Yeah, so
even
let
though
me tell you,
half the time it's wrong, but you know.
Yeah. So here's my thought on that. Okay, so she was like, I'm seeing a blue bag. I'm seeing a blue bag, and when they show me a blue bag, that means they need to go to Walmart or some shit. She didn't say that, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that means this. And then she said another one. Like, I'm seeing a red door or something like that. And I was like,
symbols.
Hold on. And then I look at Anissa, and Anissa didn't quite get it because she was all into it at this point. But I look at her, and I was like, I'm sorry. This hoe made her own ghost alphabet. Like, basically, I was like, and the ghosts know it. All the ghosts know her alphabet. I was like, skirt, no. Skirt.
Exactly. No. So she says on her website that she has been, quote, seeing, feeling, and sensing spirits since she was 4 years old, end quote. And then in her 20s, she learned to actually communicate with, quote, souls in heaven, end quote.
How she get to choose which soul she's communicating with? Well, so I asked that too. I was like, where the hell are all the angry ghosts? That's what I said to Anissa. I was like, because don't tell me some people weren't snuffed out before they had some shit to do. Like, those are some angry ghosts. She only gets the happy ones.
You know, they only have good messages to
exactly.
I love you, it's not your fault.
Well, so here's the worst part. So, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm a little messed up at, like, the thing. It is what it is. Anyway, long story short, I'm sitting there and she starts to come over near us, because I was like, oh God, I hope she comes over here, because, like, I really want to see this close up. And then I realized, oh God, like, you know, they look for people who wouldn't look bad on camera. Anissa and I don't look bad on camera. Or they look for the complete opposite. You don't look like a hot shit show. So it's either in between. And so I'm over there and I'm like, and I keep seeing her kind of like glance at, like, our side out of her eye. And she's literally like 2 feet from me at one point. And I told Anissa, I said, dude, if she comes over here, as she was walking over there, because this is caught on the camera, because I'm like crying laughing, I said, I'm about to fuck her all up. And Anissa's like, what? And I said, yeah, I'm going to spin the biggest fucking story ever and see what happens. And she was like, oh my God, don't. And I was like, dude, I'm about to fuck it up. Like, I was ready. I was so ready.
Right.
And then on one hand, I was like, yeah, I probably don't need to do that. But then I was like, oh God, I hope it happens.
I'm going to do it.
Because I was going to do it. I wouldn't have been able to resist it. I really wouldn't have. Because honestly, I don't think first of all, my own family that's alive doesn't really talk to me often. I'm pretty sure the ones that are dead don't want to talk to me either. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, I was totally about to just throw that shit off the rails.
Yeah. And then that goes back to how you see the afterlife. Like, is it a waiting room, you're just chilling, or is it like you're carrying people around with you? And if you're carrying people around with you, it's not always going to be, it's not always going to be good people. I mean, you're going to have like those that are attached to you negatively.
Is this an option that you can check in the spirit box though? Can you just go haunt people who are just kind of assholey? If that is the case, I'm gonna put that out. I would like to just haunt assholes. Right. If there's no other really great option, I'd like to see my options first. But if I'm gonna have to do something bad and get a job, I want to haunt some assholes. Right. It's gonna be amazing.
But you know, she has this show that only talks about her life.
Yeah.
Like, that matters.
Now I'm really starting not to like her. I feel like I can do this better.
Well, even more, she did a 9/11 special.
Wow.
And she went to the site.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
It was called Long Island Medium in memory of 9/11.
I don't like
and
that.
She had 4, 2 of them were related, but she had 4 people. And yeah, she did like personal quote unquote readings.
I think
and
the personal ones might have an opportunity to be real, Esther. Okay, so like maybe let's say she is a medium, like for real. Let's just say it. So she must have had to learn a trick to turn it off and turn it on, possibly, or at least block it, center herself, whatever. So maybe that's why the shows are so, you know, not real. Although I have theories on how I could make my show so real. I'm gonna have Angry Ghost, and I'm gonna do the same thing to you guys. Like, it's gonna be great. But what was I saying? Oh, anyway, but like if it's real, if it's in person, maybe she can just. I honestly think it's like just being kind of a good read of people too. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I want to believe that. I don't want to feel like she was exploiting people. Well, oh God, Esther's got
but
more.
When you do, when you do like 9/11, like
that's like going
something
to like,
very.
That'd be like going to a concentration camp.
Exactly.
I mean, like anywhere where massive death, awful things have happened, like that just.
You want to impress me? How about stop 9/11 from happening?
Yeah.
Like ghosts don't talk to one another. It was like,
the
dude that I'm attached to is about to fly a plane into the World Trade Center. You should tell somebody that you're attached to. I know a medium on Long Island. I'll let her know. Hey, yo, you might want to call somebody.
Right.
Dude, I never thought about it from that perspective. Like, if you're, like, the random messages, no wonder why they call the police and things. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So I guess they do let them know, Theon.
Quote, unquote.
I mean, no, they don't.
So, with these mediums and psychics, most of it falls under the either Forer effect or Barnum effect. It's a phenomenon that occurs when individuals believe that personality descriptions apply specifically to them, despite the fact that the description is actually filled with info that applies to everyone.
Right.
Yeah, I saw lots of that. I did. I saw lots of that because I was sitting next to Anissa and I was like, well, hold on. I was like, she's about to say something along these lines. And I was like, watch for the next one. I feel chest pains. I think she had said it. And they're like, ooh, me. One. And I was like, okay, these are all like major causes of death.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Like, and then you know your demographics. So we're in the middle of Georgia. We have a problem with methamphetamines. I feel like there were drugs involved, maybe some bad personal life choices. Half the damn room shot up.
Of course.
So damn awful. But you know what I'm saying? It's so true. So that was interesting to see too, because I feel really bad. I think I wrecked the show for Anissa because the whole time I was just like, watch. Now she's going to be like, there was a natural disaster. I'm feeling a hurricane, a tornado.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
she did that one.
Psychologist Bertram Forer did a bunch of studies actually, but the first one was 39 undergrad students. He gave them a diagnostic interest blank.
A disc.
Yeah. So, and then a week later, all those students were given the same personality descriptions, but they were told it was their personal description.
Oh man.
And so then they wanted the students to rate from 0, the worst, 5, accurate, on how the thing got their personalities right. So
5s.
out of the 39, only 5 rated it below 4.
Yep.
And no one rated it below 2.
I believe that, though. I totally believe that. Although, okay, I guess there's a phenomenon along with that piece, or another factor to that. Okay, so I read horoscopes. We all know that, right? How is it? I don't, like, I read the other ones, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm never like that. So I think it's a suggestive piece of it.
Exactly. And horoscopes
Are the same line.
Along the lines of this. So, of course, what these mediums do is make statements that apply to anyone. Mm-hmm. There's been a death in the family. Of course, we're humans.
That's why we're here.
Like, yes, of course, there's been a death. Yeah. Or, like, someone may have passed in a car accident. Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately.
That way.
Heart issues is a big one. Yep. Suicide, some mediums will bring that up.
One of those. Yep.
Yeah. Then getting to them to tell you or the medium what's important. Yep. So they could be, because it's all vague. You know, you could just be like, oh, yeah, so they died in a car accident, and then they'll give more information. The person will be like, yeah, it was such and such year.
They literally told her the whole story. Mm-hmm. And to tell you the truth, she has the ticket assignments. She has the names.
Oh, that's in here too, yeah.
Yeah,
research.
I'm telling you, it's not hard.
Mm-hmm. You can social media anybody now. Yeah. Just type in a name.
I feel like you're giving away my business plan, though, for Bag Ghost.
For everybody. Yeah,
I'm going to bring out the bag. It's going to be the Jerry Springer to the Long Island medium.
I don't think the reason why not everyone's doing it isn't because they don't know how. I think most people just, one, don't have the balls to do it. And 2, most people are decent.
It's a lot.
So they're not gonna they're not gonna try to screw people over like this.
Whoops. Yeah. Well, all right.
This is taking advantage
I really only want it to be a comedy show,
because it's like you're asking people to pay money for a service they may or may not get, and then like if you're telling them wrong shit, you move on to somebody else. It's the person behind you. Then.
Or if they don't have a personality and aren't really saying much,
then they're like,
she's like transition. Yeah, I can see the transition so quickly. I was like, here's one coming.
Yeah. So of course, saying things that are true for at least someone. You know, a male figure. It was a male figure that passed. Jeff, Joseph, Jerry. Yeah.
Yep.
Heart problem, cancer.
Yep, Esther's doing it. Esther is Theresa Caputo.
Because it's like all of them do this.
And plus, women tend to live longer than men. So if you're there, you're probably there for a man that died. Men usually die from some sort of like heart disease or high blood pressure, that kind of thing.
There's also like it's a 7 or 10 to 1 or 7 to 1 ratio of men to women in there. I saw all the sequins and all the Georgia fashion in there. There were sequins and paisley galore.
But like men don't live that long. So if you're talking to some people that just recently lost someone, chances are they just lost
a man. Yeah. So, and then also being vague allows you to backtrack, which they do a lot. So it's like, I'm getting something from your father. No, he's still alive. Well, then it's somebody that knew your father.
Yep, that's exactly. Oh my gosh, I feel like Esther's psychic. I think he might be psychic.
I'm charging $100. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. All right, I'll pay you.
And then, of course, like anybody. You can learn subtle cues. So how they look at you, like maybe they'll twitch a little bit, or they'll move in their seats, body language, facial expression. They speak slowly so they can scan the room and see such things. They're like, I'm feeling a J.
So you're so right. It was so crazy to watch that in person. But I was like, I looked at Anissa towards the end because I knew it was getting towards the end because she had started one where she was making her way back to the damn stage, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta pee. I'm getting up. I'm going to pee." I was like,
always have to pee. Your bladder's
I know,
shit.
It's awful, but like I was like, "Dude, I gotta go." And she's like, "What? Before the show's over?" I was like, "Yeah, let's beat the traffic."
Over.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'm that person." That's what I was saying. So then, literally, as soon as I got out of the bathroom, she was like, "Where are you?" Like they were letting him out, and she wrapped that shit up so damn quick.
Kind of like, and deuces.
And that was exactly it. But she couldn't have used the shifting chair thing because those chairs were shit. Everyone, you could hear it. Like, so towards the end, it was like...
Everybody's like fuck, uncomfortable.
Yes. Oh my God, it was the damn worst. Like, I mean, I looked around the room and at one point I was like, shit, it looks like a whole, like if you were to look down on like a pile of like maggots maybe.
Right, just
like, because everyone's
writhing.
like squirming in these chairs. Oh my God, I was
Were
dying.
they like the plastic hard ass?
No, they were like, you know, the ones that you use in like a wedding chair or like a church choir room or something like that, where they're like the metal back.
Yeah.
And then it's got that one cushion and then it pretends it's a cushion, but it's like maybe this.
It's been
like
sat on so long.
Yeah, and then the back doesn't move at all. And then they had the small ones. Like they had tiny ones. And so they were like only like about an airplane seat size. Like, you know, not wide. If actually maybe less. Like the little ones.
Oh no.
And so then, you know, Georgia, we ain't little out here, dog. Like at one point, I had a butt cheek on each one, just about, right? I mean, because we didn't have anybody sitting next to us, so I was like, "Yo, fuck
like
this."
Stretch out.
I was like, and then they had tied them together, so you couldn't even like kind of give yourself wiggle room. And Nisa and I had to move our two at the same time.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane.
That's too much. Maybe they do that on purpose too. I don't know.
I'm sure.
Do like the most uncomfortable shit.
Well, yeah, because then you don't feel bad that this shit ended early, and you got
You're just like, thank God.
45 minutes of disclaimer, and then the rest of the show with shit peppered in disclaimer.
So they also look at more minor things, like if you have a wedding band or if there's a tan line where the wedding band is. Usually the front row, like you spoke, they go there first because they're usually the ones that pay the most money, and also the ones that are like fanning over them, they're like, yes, I believe.
And the social media time to have looked them up because they bought their tickets first.
Exactly.
So you know their whole damn history.
And clothing also, so you can see like if they're dressed like all in black or like baggy clothes or things like that. Like they always pick up on things like that. And then, like you said, research. So sometimes they have a theme to their group things, like doing like families or like past lovers and things like that.
Rodeo theme. Everyone comes dressed as a
Hell
cowboy.
yeah, that would be cool as fuck.
Well, that's kind of what happened.
Well, it's Georgia.
The Georgia Cowboys.
He died. He got booked by a Bronco, didn't he?
Oh, I meant the car, the Bronco, like O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. to that car. Oh no, they brought it back.
They brought the Bronco back.
Yeah,
they're actually kind of cool. I'm looking at them.
Oh yeah,
cool. I like the old school ones though, man.
Yeah,
I like an old school Bronco.
We'll talk about this. Like,
we gotta do a car episode.
Yeah.
So definitely, what's made like group mediums is daytime talk shows.
Yes, that is where they got their start.
Most definitely. Everybody's crowded into a room
Sylvia,
trying to see.
What is her name? Sylvia.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about her.
I keep picturing her on Montel, and she was on a bunch of different ones. So.
Montel and Dr. Phil were her mains.
Montel Williams.
Oh no, Maury, not Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil.
Oh yeah,
Maury.
Maury.
So Oprah had Alison Dubois.
That's the original one, supposedly.
Yeah, and the show, The Medium, is...
I liked that show.
Well, let me break it. That liking for you is based off of her experiences, quote unquote. However, because she claims that she's helped solve such and such cases and things like that. But police departments have actually come out and said they either like didn't work with her, or the tips that she gave were basically bunk.
Yeah.
So
that's awful. Don't toot your own horn. I kind of liked her. All right,
Oh, well.
what else?
Montel had Sylvia Brown.
That's it. Sylvia Brown.
However,
With that blonde, crazy hair.
the downfall.
Oh, no. What's wrong with Sylvia Brown?
Oh, a lot. But
I believe that.
the biggest thing was Lawana Miller came to one of her shows. And, of course, she singled her out, had a reading with her, and told her that her daughter was dead. Her daughter was Amanda Berry, who was rescued
By Chuck.
by from Ariel Casto's home, May 2013.
By Charles motherfucking Ramsey.
Well, yeah,
But
because
there might have been something to that. Like, I'm going to argue this. So did she know, though? Oh, she had to have known, huh? Never mind.
She knew who she was. She
Okay,
knew who
that's
her
what I was
daughter
going to say.
was.
I didn't know if she knew
because that's
that.
why she
Never
was
mind.
singled
Now I
out
feel
like that.
awful.
So she actually saw her mom doing that interview, and she saw Sylvia tell her
What?
mom that
Yeah.
she was dead.
I
Yeah.
did
And
not
it was
know that.
devastating to her.
Oh my God.
She was
of
like,
course.
no,
Now
I'm
there's no
fucking
hope.
here.
Yeah.
And her mom, unfortunately, passed away in 2006, thinking her daughter was dead.
And the grief probably helped that along.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I mean,
Most
really,
definitely.
grief ages you. That's so sad.
Montel had to
Sylvia
come out.
Brown, you shit bag.
Oh, she's dead.
And then Charles
Well-
Ramsey came through like a G.
Like a G.
And saved him.
He got-
McDonald's should have gave him a lifetime.
Dude, they really should
They
have.
gave him the gold card.
Oh, did
the-
did
Wait,
they?
what's...
Golden-
I'm sorry. What
golden
is this?
card?
Yeah.
McDonald's for life.
Well, that's dope.
Hi. Okay. Wait. Can
They
we
should've-
do an episode on places where you can get like a
Lifetime
card for
thingy?
life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'll have to
know
look it
that
up. We'll do that for
existed.
pop culture. Yeah. We'll
I
do that for
want
pop
one
culture
for
dive.
something.
We should call Charles Ramsey, see if he'll
Be
do
like,
the show.
yo, let's tag along for them. I just want a spicy Sprite.
Yeah, really. They should have made his own sandwich. They should have like, yo,
They
should've.
should have.
it was
They should do it.
a hero sandwich.
That shit
Yeah.
was funny as hell. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, when he was, because I
He's
mean, he
like-
was like just a real life dude,
It's
just
like
living life. He was
I knew
like, I just
something
got my
was
McDonald's.
wrong.
She ran into the arms. A pretty little white girl ran into the arms of a black man. I knew something
I was
was
like, damn.
Charles Ramsey.
A real one. So Mari, Ricky Lake had James Van Prague
Oh my God, I remember those.
and Maureen Hancock, who would always say, "Do you understand?" She'd say, "So your father, it's your father. Do you understand? So he's telling me blah blah such and such. Do you understand? And this and this and this. Do you
I
understand?"
don't like that.
Was she
It was-
No,
Ja-
I'm
it
feeling
was
very
like-
confused.
It was
over
a
it.
lot.
Was she Jamaican?
No.
Your father died. You understand me?
Okay, I mean that
Ridiculous.
makes sense to me. Like,
Yeah,
it sounds better
No,
that way.
She is
'cause I
whole
picture-
ass white.
You
that
died near
doesn't
the
make sense.
beach. You understand me?
I was just like, yo, chill, bitch.
I would like
I
to
do not
that all the
understand.
time.
Do you understand me? Dr. Phil had John Edward,
Yeah.
who
Oh,
South
was a
Park
weird
deemed him the
looking
biggest douchebag in the universe because he
Facts.
was.
But they didn't know about
dollars.
Elon Musk at that point, did they?
No,
Or Jeff Bezos?
I don't think so. Not yet.
I wonder if South Park should do another biggest douchebags
They
in the universe
should.
countdown. I like it.
Yes. So, lastly, well, actually, I don't have a talk show one, but Harry Houdini
Oh,
actually, when his mother passed, he loved his mother. Like, he was a mama's boy.
we know.
So he got really big into spiritualism. So that's like,
arts.
yeah. And a lot of people were in the 1920s,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
around that era. Like,
Yeah, that
you're
was
just
some
trying
weird
to
shit.
find shit. Yeah, you know, shit's happening. You know, you're just trying to find something
People had some
higher
extra money.
power. See, people had extra money and shit.
Couldn't go drink.
Yes, it's true.
So
So he became friends with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes.
I was like,
wow.
I know that book. Like, I know that name. I was like, thank you.
And he was like a big figurehead in the spiritualism movement at that time.
That makes sense too.
And he had a wife, second wife, who
first
said
one
she
died?
was. Actually, I don't remember. I don't
Okay,
know.
I was like, feeling like this
oh,
is a true
maybe.
crime ghost story.
Man, maybe I should look into that.
I think so.
Maybe that's how he got away with murder, and he was like Sherlock Holmes this shit.
Maybe. I mean, OJ
Allegedly.
I
don't know.
if I did it, remember?
I don't know.
Fuck him. He also had sex with sheep. There it is.
Wait,
trying to sue me.
He might
Trying
have,
to sue me.
like, family still
Who
alive.
had sex with sheep?
No,
We're not going to say the name. Okay, I missed it.
Theon's sake. It doesn't matter since he's
going,
dead.
I'm going nuclear on this dude.
You clearly are.
But so his second wife said she was a medium, and he didn't really go to the seances. He supported the spiritualism movement, but he wasn't there yet. But he went to one
version of one. That's what he wanted.
He was like just inching around it. So he went to a seance, and she said she was channeling his mom, and he was like, okay, let's see where this goes. She writes a 15-page. Oh, I'm sorry. Her medium work was automatic writing. So instead of talking, instead of talking, she would write stuff. Kind of like Insidious, actually. That lady, she spoke it and then Homeboy wrote it. But so she wrote a 15-page message, quote unquote, from his madre. However, his mother was Jewish and Hungarian. The 15-page letter was in English, and she put a cross on top of each page.
What?
As a Jewish and a wife of a rabbi.
Yeah, she would never.
She would never. It infuriated the whole fuck out of Houdini.
So that's how his second wife died.
Shit. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm feeling it right now. I'm just telling you.
And then Houdini set out. He made it his life's mission to just debunk the shit out of people like that. Yeah. He just went on a whole ass crusade. He even took this anger to the courts, and he wanted to fucking throw people in jail who was charging money for these psychic medium services. Yeah. And he would perform his own seances and like do it's all parliament tricks basically.
Parlor.
Harry Houdini.
Parliament.
George Clinton comes out with Bootsy Collins.
I like the parlor. I was all in for it.
We've been watching Parliaments and the Funkadelics documentary.
Gotta have that ghost.
So parlor tricks, and like he would just do things that the mediums supposedly how they would react, and like lights flickering and stuff like that. Like he would just do it and be like, I'm not channeling ghosts, so shit's fake. But yeah, he even went to the courts and was like, yo, y'all need to put people in jail that are charging people for things like this. Unfortunately, obviously, that didn't happen.
What if, though, in the biggest plot twist, because he set out to debunk everything, a ghost drowned his ass in that thing and he couldn't get out. Remember, that's how he died.
No, like he died because he got gut punched, and then he didn't go to the hospital when he was supposed to.
What the fuck?
And then his iron, he kept doing shows, and his main act was that he would get a cannonball shot to his stomach, and then like basically that it ruptured his appendix.
Yeah, it monked him up on the inside.
Hold on, but the real problem is that I literally thought he died in
drowning.
Yes.
Oh, in a box.
In a box.
That
drowning.
Was
he
a
almost
trick.
Drowned, maybe.
There was a trick that he wasn't able to. Complete.
Do.
Like he couldn't master it, and
maybe that was it.
That was one of those, but no, he died from like all the shots to the stomach.
That's crazy, man. This dude took a cannonball in his stomach.
Supposedly, he met with these college dudes, and this dude was like, hey, because he's known for the iron stomach, and the dude was like, hey, can I punch your stomach? And before Houdini could like tighten it up, he goes, goo, goo, goo. like fucking his ass, and then Houdini like starts complaining of like he's not feeling good.
But he was like a typical dude.
Yeah, he just kept touring.
See, guys?
He finished his tour and died.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor when you listen. Don't get comfortable
and don't let random people punch you in the stomach.
Yeah, I mean, just always
or
keep
like
that
just
shit
always
tense.
be tight.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Be tight.
I don't realize that, but I swear to God, I could like go to lay down and I'm like, shit, I am so tense all the time.
Be
It's
tight.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
My
Keep it
neck
right.
is tense right now. It's weird. I don't know.
Stay ready never has to get ready.
Yeah,
is true.
especially if you're known as being the iron stomach. Don't you think people would want to like kind of like touch and punch and things like that?
I mean, shoot a cannon
I mean, he
into
did
it.
say yeah, and homeboy was like,
All
whoop.
right. He had one cocked and ready.
Yeah, he said, yeah. He started to say, and he was like,
He was
that's
like,
yes.
He
And
had
yeah.
it in the
Yeah.
chamber. He was like,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I think he hit him like 2 or 3 times. It was just like gut.
It's like, motherfucker, you said a punch.
He was like, nah, I'm gonna do 3. Watch me. I'm gonna hit this motherfucker 3 times.
He's just doing like curls,
Just, I'm
working
ready.
out like Rocky.
Just one arm.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna punch the shit out of Houdini.
Listening to Eye of the Tiger.
That was his tweet. I'm gonna punch the shit out of Houdini hood.
There was.
He's like practicing punching trees and bears.
Right.
And shit.
Oh
fucking
man.
He's like, I'm ready.
Yo.
You ready, kid?
This is going sideways.
Oh yes, sorry.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
all of us.
Unfortunately, obviously, it didn't go through. It didn't pass. So, I mean, it takes one time, and he like
It was the right
fucking
one.
went.
He found the right one.
He said, "Yo, ain't no way." And I mean, those psychics and mediums get proven wrong all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, but I think they give people.
They do,
gifts.
and it's like. Like with the Sylvia Brown issue, it's like you can't tell people their
No.
damn babies are dead.
Well, she never.
That was
started,
that's different.
Like with those, I think originally, but once she started getting on
Yeah.
TV and had like, yeah, she was just saying.
Yeah,
all
she
sorts
told
of crazy
everybody
ass
that
shit.
their babies
So
be dead.
she was the angry ghost person there.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch some more
Where-
Sylvia Brown.
Oh man, maybe we could channel Sylvia Brown in a little seance.
Yeah.
I'm not channeling it because I believe in that shit. I don't need
Oh.
any more passengers on my back. If that's what we got walking around.
Just got
like
a room of
Beyonce.
homies.
I don't want a room of homies. I don't. I
But
got
you-
enough real
Have
homies I
Sylvia
gotta
Brown's
take care of.
ass smoking in the back. She'd be like, "Fuck this."
Like, I smell cigarettes. I'd be like, Sylvia, put that shit
Damn
out.
it.
Then I'm gonna look more insane than I already am. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson has like a list of questions for mediums to ask ghosts, and they never ask him. It's
Exactly,
like, what temperature is it?
Can we walk through walls?
No, like what temperature
Oh,
is
that's what I
it?
wanna
Are
know.
you wearing clothes? Can you feel? You
I didn't care about that. I
You know,
wanted
stuff
to know.
like I would. Yeah,
Can
this
you
like,
really walk through walls?
You know, like what temperature is it? Are
Yeah.
you comfortable?
They never do that because it's too specific. Like they always go general. Like
Are you wearing clothes?
Are you wearing clothes? That's actually pretty general
I mean,
enough, right?
I feel like everyone can relate to that at one point in their time or another.
What
You know, are you
if
wearing-
they're just naked?
I mean, wouldn't you be? I mean, your clothes don't live with you.
What if you die? What
Or
if you
are
pass
you-
with the clothes you wore last?
Or are you the age that you were when you died?
Yeah, are you
This is a
aging?
whole nother episode.
This is,
Right.
but that goes with
It
I guess
does.
you know
But-
what you believe.
But ultimately, I mean, if you do believe in ghosts and afterlife, ultimately, it's like it's pointless because it's like you will be dead longer than you will be alive.
True.
Like, yeah, I mean, if you're lucky, you might get 85, 95 years.
Right.
You're gonna be dead a lot longer than that.
Eons.
Yeah.
And after a while, you just like if you are confronted with the existential
Yeah, I'm gonna be
mindfuck that
naked.
is death,
Like,
why do you
if the
even
temperature's
care?
good, I'm gonna be naked because I'm right. Like, I got my underwear's
like-
so far up my ass right now. Like, I can't think straight. I'm not gonna deal with that when I'm fucking dead. And what if my
Why-
hand doesn't work all the time and it like goes straight through my butt and I can't even get my wedgie? This is not gonna work for me.
Why do you even care what anyone alive is doing. Because at some point you're gonna see him again. If you believe in the afterlife, it's pointless. It makes no sense. And at some point you're not even gonna care about these people anymore.
We're going to different places because you are the calm ghost that's not doing any of that, and I am nosy as shit. I want to know what is happening.
It means nothing ultimately.
What
like
are you
the
talking
sun,
about? It's literally like the best form of reality TV because it is.
But the sun will burn out. And it's just like none of this.
Jesus, you are depressing
matters.
the fuck out of me.
None of this
don't
matters.
wreck my afterlife, Theon. You're trying to dream crusher. You're
like
trying to crush my afterlife.
Like just say my grandma. Let's just my grandma was 85 when I was born. And
damn, you got an old ass.
No, I'm just saying.
Dog.
Let's just say she was when I was born. She was 85. And I knew her for 2 years, and so she died when she was 87, and then I died when I'm 87. 87 years has passed, and she only knew me for 2 years.
No, she didn't. She followed you the whole time.
But even then, it's like, why do that?
You're not having
pointless.
any friends.
It's like it makes no sense.
So you got no friends in heaven.
At some point, I'm going to see her again. Why even bother following me?
Because you don't even know. You know nothing about hers, but she can share all these things. That's why she's going to follow you.
Why share those things? Because ultimately, they don't make any sense.
You're in the no friend zone. Because it's you alone in nature.
Whether I know about her or not, it all ends up the same.
It does, but at least make it interesting.
And then even farther.
Fine, let's go fuck some shit up right now.
100 years from that, none of that will matter. None of this will.
All right, well, you know what matters is right now. Let's go do some dumb shit. Are you ready? I've got all sorts of dumb shit ideas.
Yes.
Ultimately, cosmically, none of this matters. It's all insignificant.
I can't deal with that sad fact, and I'm not going to.
None of it matters.
I'm going to go fuck some shit up.
A ghost following around like living relatives is like somebody like going to their old high school and hanging out in the parking lot.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Let's go do it right now.
You have moved on. Like, none of the stuff that happens in this high school concerns you anymore. Like, this is not your life. You have moved on. Stop being a creep and then do something else. Like, it's like the whole idea.
You've reached a level of, like, what is it? Like, I don't want to say spiritualism, but like evolution in your brain that I'm not ready for and or I've reached. But I feel the truth that you're talking, but I want to live in denial because it works better for me. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to haunt the fuck out of you.
I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate for the relationships and experiences that I've had with my time living. And I mean, while I'm alive, they mean so much to me. But ultimately, I know that none of this matters. None of it matters.
I would like you to edit that last part because I feel like people need help. So I'm gonna say no. What do I could fart and that would make you
do it.
I don't have fart. Do it. Whatever, we're done.
Yeah. So this has been Theory Tuesday and also / Theon's reality.
Right. Also, talk. There is hope. Don't listen. There's hope. There's
Abandon all hope, ye who.
All right, I'm done with this. Wow. I'm hoping. No.
So next week will be Web Chronicles. We'll read some web stories. And follow us on Instagram and the YouTube with _ENR.
Super easy.
Yeah. So we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.